What's it like being Indian in Japan?
I think
How do Japanese people see Indian people?
So the first reaction I get is,
You're gonna go back to India next year, right?
yeah.
Well, what's the reason? Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Takashi from Japan. So today I'm going to interview Indians in Japan. What's it like living in Japan for Indians? Okay, let's get started. Thank you for your time. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Srishti. I'm from India and I've been in Japan for a very long time, over 10 years.
How do Japanese people see Indian people?
So the first reaction I get is "atama ii ne." But you must be really intelligent, and especially in mathematics. So the people who you meet outside India are one of those who are really good, but you cannot generalize about the whole India. A lot of people is like still back in India, so it's hard to say that everyone is really good in maths. But the people who actually come here are good in maths.
And especially if you don't mind me asking, what do you do?
I am currently an IT
Right?
consultant.
So yeah, that's what I thought.
But then you see, like the amount of Indians is not even 1% of Indians are there in Japan. So
Alright,
those who are really good are here.
That's
right?
why they're here.
Yeah, that's why they're here or they get out of India.
Right. What's something you never see in India but you always see in Japan?
Peace.
What does it mean?
As in, everything is so calm down. Like, everything is disciplined. Like, you have to plan it because things take time and it gets done on time. If you plan it well, you'll get your things done without an issue, without any problem. For example, I was talking to a colleague the other time. He was leaving Japan and he said he had some paper missing for the ward office, and they were like, you cannot email, you have to either come in person or send by the post. But it's like he has only one day left, so managing things. So maybe in those cases, a little bit, maybe a bit more flexibility, or like if it goes, if you can just email or digitalize a little bit.
The other way around. What's something you always see in India but you never see in Japan?
Chaos.
Chaos? Like in what sense?
Okay, it's a lot of population, so wherever you go, it's very crowded. It's different. Things are not exactly systematic, and there's no punctuality and discipline. Like maybe there is, but very, very few places. So that's something I really like about Japan. People, you decide a time, you stick to it, you have a timing, appointments, schedules.
You've been in Japan for over 10 years. Can you imagine yourself going back to India and living there again?
Right now, not really.
Can I ask why?
I think if I go to India, I sometimes have to try to understand the culture otherwise. Like, you're so used to the Japanese way. Like, I think I was buying something and, you just don't think, you consciously just line up and then you realize nobody's lining up. So, it's like this adjusting, like I have to readjust if I go back. Japan is definitely one of the really amazing places. So safe, so secure. Like, best part is I can get an ice cream at 2 a.m. from a
Inconvenient?
Yeah. But of course, it has its own pros and cons. But I feel like I'm still young. I want to travel.
Okay. Any advice or message to Indian people who's watching this video?
I would say the language can be a big issue. For the first time you come, to navigate around. So it's maybe good to have a little bit of start. I think Japanese people are good in English, but it's just the starting point. It's somewhere like you find a middle ground. So if you start with a few words in Japanese, the other person is like more, helpful. Like they will translate. If they cannot speak, they will translate. They work around. But if you start in English, which comes off maybe a little strong, so it's a bit hard to break the ice. So that would be, if you can learn a bit of phrase. Country can get a little lonely if you are really alone, So make new friends. That's all, yeah.
I think Japanese people appreciate when foreigners try to speak Japanese. Doesn't have to be the whole conversation or something like that. Like, like show their effort.
Yeah.
Last question. Like, do you speak Japanese?
Hanashimasu.
話します
Hanashimasu. I speak Japanese.
10年日本にいるから。
はい。 そうですね。それと、大学時に、大学でも勉強しました。Grammar, language is not hard. What is hard is kanji.
Oh.
So I would say I'm not good in reading and writing.
But you work here in Japan, right? Like, does it really matter?
If you can speak, it's good enough.
Oh, it's good enough.
Yes,
Oh, really?
because a lot of times you don't really need to read and write.
Oh, really?
At least in international companies,
Right.
the documentation can be done in English. But as you see, like even if you're international companies, your customers are local. So you need to communicate. So if you can communicate, reading and writing is not the most looked sought after.
Okay.
Well, if you can do it, it's best.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you for your time. Where you from?
I am from Lucknow,
India.
India. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. And you traveling here, right?
Yeah, I am traveling. It's been 9 days since I'm here, and probably 2 more days here. Then I'll go back to my nation.
First time?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. What's it like traveling in Japan so far? As an Indian, what's it like?
It's great. I mean, seeing the public transportation, the level of complicacy in public transportation, it's very different from what we have in India. The prices, yes, they are on a bit of a expensive side. Intracity transport that we have, the public transport that we have in Japan is just next level. I've been using the subways and the trains that you guys have, and I mean, it's just crazy.
Have you interacted with Japanese people so far?
Not much. I mean, mostly I've seen them getting busy into their mobile phones or their laptops, or working on some things. Not as available as we have people in India. So in India, when we are traveling, most of us are trying to interact with each other. But from whatever I've seen in Japan, most of the guys are into their phones, listening to music. But so not that much of an interaction per se.
Have you tried Indian food in Japan?
Nope, not now, not yet. I thought of trying it out, but I mean, seeing the prices here, I am. But yeah, it's much expensive. So there is dish known as samosas in India. We get that for around 10 rupees for two, and that is around, if I convert into Japanese yen, it will be around 15 yen.
Oh, 15 yen?
Yes,
Damn.
15 yen.
15 yen?
Yeah.
Damn.
So, I mean, compared to what I just saw, I mean, the menu that I saw, it was more like 450 yen, and I was like, no,
Okay.
that's not it.
Okay.
When I traveled to Kyoto and Osaka, there was a huge population of Indians, and I was seeing like every 20 guys I see, there was one Indian at least in the group.
Okay.
So,
Everywhere.
yeah.
Indians everywhere in the world.
I mean, it's a huge population.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you for your time. Like, where you from?
I'm from India. My name is Rucha, and I've been in Japan from 7 months.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I work in a IT firm, a multinational company, and originally I was supposed to come to Japan in 2019, but because of COVID and all the border restrictions, it was postponed, and I came just 6 months back, and I'm working for Japanese projects and Japanese clients.
Okay. What's it like being Indian in Japan?
I think Japanese are very welcoming towards Indians, and when I tell that I'm from India, I see that they are treating me with respect. And there is a language barrier for sure here, but they try to help as much as possible from their end. So it's been a good experience as of now.
Like, do you have Japanese friends?
Yeah, I do have, mostly in office, but since I work in an IT company, so we meet a lot of Japanese there.
Like, so when you say you're from India, what's the impression? What's the reaction when you say you're from India?
Mostly it's been good. So they start asking about like how is the culture there, and they are mostly interested in food. So they ask, do you like curry? Can we go to restaurants? So I think they're more interested in culture and about food of India. Yeah, so I'll be getting married, and I'll be moving back to India. Japan is very good. I am loving my experience here, but India is my home, so I see myself settling in India in future.
Okay. What's something you missed about Japan next year?
I'll miss everything in Japan. I think the people are very kind. I'll miss convenience stores the most. Kombinis is the best part in India. Sorry, in Japan, and I hope they implement same concept in India very soon. So yeah, that is one thing. Other than that, the rules, the culture that Japan has. For example, in train, people they don't make noise so that other people can carry out their work quietly and sleep or work. So yeah, these little things I'll miss in India.
Okay.
Okay, so I am a vegetarian. I don't eat.
really?
Yeah. So
That must be hard.
yeah, so that is the first advice I want to give. If you are a vegetarian, please learn cooking. There are very limited options available even in kombinis. I usually have to eat something sweet or dessert because spicy food I don't easily get in kombini or in restaurants as well. So please learn cooking, basics of cooking. Other than that, I think you should learn Japanese language, at least basics, so that you can navigate your life easily in Japan. So you should learn about their culture before coming.
Did you do that?
Yeah,
Okay. You speak Japanese?
I speak sukoshi dake desu.
You want to show your Japanese? Or it's up to you? No? No? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you for your time. Where you from?
I'm from India and my name is Pranavi.
Where in India you from?
I'm from Hyderabad and it's been 6 months that I came to Japan.
Oh,
Yeah.
welcome to Japan. Okay, so this topic is about Indian in Japan, like Indian community in Japan. Is it big or is it actually small? You live in Tokyo, right?
Yeah. So now there are many people are migrating from India to Japan for work, and also we have, for example, we have two communities, two areas like Nishikasai and Ojima. So we have so many Indian people there, and we have so many communities according to our states. From Maharashtra, they have Marathi community. From Telugu, they have Telugu community. So we have so many people from India now, so it's easy, and we have so many Indian stores. Indian restaurants, and also it's easy for us also to adapt in Japan now. In Japan, the best thing I like is about Suica and Pasmo for transportation. Yeah, so the ticketing system is very good here, and all the little things like rules and regulations here, the crossing signals, and it's little different from India. So these little things make us miss in India.
What's something you need to know as Indian before coming to Japan?
They have to know little bit of Japanese. If no Japanese, then it is very difficult even to buy anything from kombini or to buy a ticket in station also. They need basics of Japanese. Otherwise, it gonna be very difficult to stay in Japan.
Japanese. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you for your time. Where you from?
I'm from New Zealand, but I was born in India.
How long have you been here?
I come here 3 to 4 times a year for work, and each time I come, I stay for about a month.
What's it like being Indian in Japan?
I think Japan's amazing. I absolutely love it here, and I think being an Indian, it doesn't really change a lot of things. But yeah, maybe culturally, there are quite a few differences, especially when it comes to scent. I've been told that Japanese people like to be neutrally scented, so they don't like to smell like a strong perfume or anything like that. But I prefer like some colognes, and so if I wear a strong cologne, I just have to be mindful and wary that if I go on the train or
Especially I was gonna say that, especially on the train. Yeah.
just have to be mindful that I don't put too much on or whatever. So
How about the Indian communities in Japan, especially in Tokyo? Do you have lots of Indian friends in Japan, or like?
most of my friends in Japan are Japanese.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah. So usually when I go to Kyoto, a lot of the people that I catch up with are Japanese.
Right.
So
How did you meet them? How did you make friends? Japanese friends?
So there are 2 bars that I like going to, and at the first bar, the guy who owns it, the first time I went there was very welcoming, and so just over time talking to him, he gave me recommendations and all of that. So yeah, and the second, I guess the second place is a nice cocktail bar that I go to as well, and much the same. It's owned by a French guy, but a lot of Japanese people work there.
What's something you always see in India but you never see in Japan?
Oh, okay. I think in India, being a third world country, it's not as organized as it is in Japan. In saying that, I've only been to South India, a very particular part of South India. So I can't say as a generalization for the entire country. It's a lot more chaotic. So traffic don't really adhere to rules. and I guess there are a lot more people in a much more concentrated area. I feel like there's a similar situation in Japan, but people are a lot more quiet, respectful. It's a lot more peaceful here and a lot more ordered and structured. So I feel like that's quite different. There's quite a stark difference between those two, sort of realities. The other thing that you don't really see is dirt. So I feel like Japanese is, because there's a lot of construction where I'm from, at least, or the city that that I was born in. There's dust everywhere, and usually a lot of rubbish everywhere. But yeah, things are a lot more ordered here. So there's not as much rubbish. There's like next to no trash on the streets. There's no dust. There's I feel like it's very clean in Japan. So
Thank you so much.
No,
Thank
no
you so much.
worries.
Okay, thank you for watching so far. How was it? That was interesting. I hope this video will help you when you come to Japan, especially if you're Indian. Okay, anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, click like button. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have any question you want me to ask people in Japan, please leave a comment too. See you next time.